They have to keep it locked in because obviously there's people in there, which is us. He came back through, and when he came back through, time had gone and police were there. Okay, we've got to the flat earth theory now, so you're wondering where I am on this. So if we all agree that space is gravity-less, in other words, there's a plane that you can do what they call the vomit comet, where it's actually weightlessness. So if we agree that above even the dome, if it is a flat earth, that there is weightlessness. Now, when you wring out water in space, it doesn't actually go flat, it goes into a ball, as you see there. So the next video I'm doing sort of explains possibly how Earth itself was created as a sphere, and how things stick to it, because water in space is ultra sticky, as you can see here. So watch the next video and it will make. So if we go along from the last video where I said the water turns into a sort of a round object. So Earth, we believe, has a molten core. We really only believe that because of the magnetic poles. But there's a theory out there that says actually our centre is a block of ice, and rocks would stick to that over billions of years. And now NASA's done an experiment, and that does actually happen with ice. The little rocks would attach itself to it. Now, at one point in our past, our Earth was a greater mass, but the size of the Earth wasn't any bigger than the mass itself. But if it was an ice core and the ice steamed up and overheated or heated up, it would break up continents, as we now know happened. And that would explain the size difference from then to now and why we still have water. One of the arguments that people say that there is a real sort of God that created the universe is because everything is perfectly working. The sun is going round and we're going round and we're not bashing into anything. So they say that's divine intervention, or that's been created like that. However, if you imagine the universe starting as a big bang, now just watch what happens with these balls. They go everywhere, but eventually, a billion years later, trillion years later, they all settle. So my argument is, in the universe, everything, yes, at the beginning was bashing into each other and everything else, doesn't mean there was some divine being specifically put in Earth exactly where it is to rotate, etc. It's just over a humongous amount of time, everything just settled down to a natural order. There's a thing called Bode's law, which basically says from the sun outwards, every planet should be twice the distance from the previous planet, which means there should have been a planet between Mars and Jupiter. Now, there's probably different names for it. One such name is Tiamat. Now, if this planet was really there, it could have smashed into Earth, because some scientists, not many, but some say that Earth was smashed into and part of it broke off and created the moon with the other planet. So, for example, Daniel Hurwitz used samples from meteorites from the moon and suggested that the isotopes and titanium and oxygen, etc., was created from Earth and this other planet.